I truly, first and foremost, must give honor to God because without Him, I am truly nothing. And as I was coming out here this morning, my biggest prayer is, God, that you would decrease me so that the world would be increased. I'm honored because every morning I wake up, I get the pleasure of doing what I love. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to my amazing diamond team. If you're one of my diamonds, just throw your hands up this morning. Good morning. Thank you so much. Salute to you for being on the battlefield, for fighting, for building it for your last name. And to all of our other champions in the room, thank you for believing in the vision of Paycation. I like to tell stories because there's a story that I read from that #1 bestseller about a gentleman named Lot. Anybody familiar with him? When I began to study this thing and God gave me these 2 words, never again, a few months back, I called my pastor and I said, Pastor Townsend, not Pastor Townsend, that's my spiritual father, but literally Pastor Anthony Knotts, thank you so much for covering me and my family in this season and being the most amazing pastor this side of heaven. And of course, my daughter in her absence, that's my baby, and my significant others in the room today, Dr. Chris Brown, thank you so much for being here with me today. But I was reading the story of Lot. And in the story of Lot, it's interesting that the story of Lot is in the very beginning of the word. And in the story of Lot, there are angels that appear before him, and they give him the message. They said, get up, we have to leave the city now. And they tell him, they say, get your family, get your children, and get to the hills. And he lingered initially, like some of us. He paused initially. But then the angel carried him out of the city, Pastor. They forced him and his family to get out of the city. They told him, do not look back. They told him, get to the highest point, or else you will be swept away. Some of you translating into the fact that some of us like to be at the bottom, looking to get swept away. But Lot is told to get out, get to the city, lest he be swept away. Now, I'm going to do an exegesis and go a little bit further up. He turns around, and he follows and he leaves. But then there's his wife. His wife, as they are leaving, looks back and is turned into a pillar of salt. Because looking back is symbolic of being attached to those things that you think you're losing. Some of you don't want to let go of the past because you think you're losing something. Some of you don't want to let go of that old circle because you think you're losing something. Some of you don't want to make that phone call because you think if they see you doing one of them things, you're losing something. Some of you don't want to be successful because you're worried about what your family gonna say when you get there. But today, I want to encourage all of you to stop looking back. I don't need to see any pillars of salt in the room today. Do I have any salty people in here? I want to talk to you about the power of never again. There are some things that I want you to get out of your system so that you don't just disintegrate into salt. Is that all right this morning? Yeah. Let's talk about what it means, because never again to the Lot's wives in the room. It means that you can't look back, because looking back means you're attached to old habits. You like being broke. That's a bad habit. Some of you literally are attached to the old way of thinking. Oh, this good old job that I got. Paycation can't supersede it. Lies you tell yourselves. Some of you are tied to those broken relationships. Honey, if they left for a good reason. Let them stay gone. Right? Here's the caveat about being a tie, Spencer, to the old way and to the Lot's wife way of thinking, is that at the end of the day, you got to understand that she was attached to the things, because what the word did declare, he said he was trying to get them out of the city under equity. There are some things that God is trying to get you away from that he already has recognized are inequitable to where it is that you need to go. That's why he told Lot, that. Bruce Baker, he said, get to the top. Get to presidential diamond. Get to international executive. Get to the top. But here's the thing, he's doing it for a good reason. At the end of the day, you can't go back to the same thing expecting different results without being something different. That's truly insane. Somebody said never again.
Never again.
Never again do anything that requires you to be something that you're not. Oh, no, you don't need to be a Barry Donaldson, although I'd like you to check mark. But more importantly, at the end of the day, you gotta be your true, authentic self. And as you go through this process of this amazing personal development program, you've got to be in a place where you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I built for it? Does it fit me? Is it sustainable? Is it duplicatable? Why am I doing it? And if the answer is no to anything, any one of those questions, you better have a good reason for moving forward. You got to say, never again. No. I will always be my true self, because guess what? I don't care if you don't like me anyway. I wasn't here for that. Somebody say never again.
Never again.
See, a lot of us are spending time in business with people who we're trying to change. Never again try to change another person. You can't. At the end of the day, you gotta understand that when you realize that you, at the end of the day, can I go back to that slide? You cannot change another person. You can't force people into doing something that they don't want to do. Why are you trying to drag Pookie and Kwee in there? Why are you trying to drag them? They don't want to do this. You asked them for $149 and you wanted to get in the business, but baby, they got 6 bundles of hair in their head. I'm not going to go get people. You know what? You gotta let some people deal with the consequences of their decisions. Never again.
Huh?
Somebody say never again.
Never again.
Never forget that you can please everybody. We are not people pleasers. We got bloodlines. When I look at my daughter's eyeballs, I am not here to please you. I gotta make sure she eats. You can, at the end of the day, understand you ain't gonna make everybody happy. At the end of the day, everybody's not gonna be pleased with where it is that you want to go. Everybody's not excited about you on this journey. At the end of the day, once you truly get it out of your mindset that it is impossible to please everybody, I just want to be there for all of my 4,628 people. Nope, ain't gonna happen, diamonds. We can't be everywhere at all times. We can't, Spencer, please everybody. We ain't gonna be everybody's best friends, and a quarter of them don't like you anyway. They can't even pronounce your name. Somebody say never again.
Never again.
Never again are you going to choose short-term comfort over long-term benefits.
Yes.
See, you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to be sleeping on the highway if you're trying to get to another city, Tiffany. You don't want to have to get on a plane, get on a car, go to another meeting, sleep in a hotel. You don't want to spend any of your little money to do anything. Because you need that right now. You don't want to wait and go through the process and the pain at the end of the day, but you'd rather be comfortable. You good. You want to be comfortable. At the end of the day, people who are comfortable are the ones that typically end up broke. See, successful people know what they want, Kat. They know what they want. They know what it requires, and they don't mind being in pain. Ladies, we give birth to a baby after 9 months. But imagine if you got pregnant today and tomorrow you gave birth. It would hurt. It would hurt. It would hurt. But see, here's what I understand. The contractions, were they worth it after 9 months of going through the process?
Yes.
I mean, in this business right now, we literally give birth to diamonds. We go through attrition, contraction. Pook, our best friend who we thought was gonna ride or die with us in this business, contraction. Your upline goes to another planet, a contraction. The popularity in the business and big picture. The big picture is that you can set somebody's family free. Never take your eyes off the big picture. You gotta be able to see it before you can seize it. Period. If you can't see it, you will not perform. If it's not in you, if your sight is blinded with cataracts, you ain't gonna see it. It's gonna be foggy. You're gonna question it. You're not gonna be able to see it. You gotta have 20/20 vision on steroids here. Because no one event in this business, in your life, equates to the whole story. Period. Somebody said never again.
Never again.
Never again neglect to do your homework. See, you're so quick to shut something down that you haven't even begun to research it. Figure out what it is. Can this business really pay me 6 figures? Yes. Can this business really take me out of the hood? Yes. Can this business really put that X550 in my driveway? Yes. Don't take your eyes off the big picture. You gotta see this thing at the end of the day, because who owns you? You owe yourself, Jackie Pippins. You owe yourself, Gina. You owe yourself. Your bloodline is waiting on you to show up. You can't take your eyes off the big picture, because at the end of the day, they say, oh, well, it looks too good to be true. Do your homework. Because when God did a wealth transference, he made it look like that, because he knew it wouldn't be for everybody. He knew that he was going to handpick the select few who would show up to Memphis, Tennessee, because they came for their birthright. They pushed on their last dime. They did when it was uncomfortable. They saw the big picture. They did their homework. They knew that if they went to work, this thing would work. You gotta do your homework. Somebody said never again.
Never again.
Chinaza, there's one for you. Never ever fail to hold yourself accountable. Before you look for an accountability partner, be willing to hold yourself accountable. Be willing to understand that successful people will always ask themselves, what part am I playing in this situation? Where is it that I went wrong? See, some of us mad because we didn't walk the stage. What part did you play in it? What travel party did you do? What phone call did you make? Why are you waiting on your upline to show up? You know, it's your upline's fault. You didn't want to do it because it was like, it got into the way you wanted to go watch the basketball game. You wanted to go to the Super Bowl. You know, you wanted to hang out, but you really didn't want to put your hang-ups in the closet so that you could go to work and get yourself to where you need to be. Transparent moment, Mark earlier, I told you, I didn't register at a conference until about 8 days ago, purposely, because I wanted to come here, Pastor, as an international diamond. And again, I had to look at myself and say, I'm not going to convention until I get to my next level. But I didn't get there. And Lori put folks on blast in the diamond group, and she said, there's some diamonds that didn't register for convention. Then she sent me an email saying, why didn't you register? Because I was holding myself accountable. I had something to finish. I had work to get done. I didn't do my part. I didn't show up enough. I didn't make enough phone calls. I didn't have enough travel parties. I didn't do my part. That's why I didn't get to where I was supposed to be. But I'm okay with that, because I hold myself accountable. There are no victims. There are only victors in this room. Somebody say never again.
Never again.
Never again be afraid to change plans. Never be afraid to shift, to pivot. Because again, you don't change your goal. You change the activity. You shift the activity. You do more. Make adjustments. Tell them biggest, baddest, boldest. You make adjustments. You can't be afraid of the pivot. You can't be afraid to shift. You can't, David. Period. Never stop thinking about how you're going to make your team better. Never stop thinking about how you're going to develop. You must always be evolving. See, the moment you think that you stop learning, that's the moment you die. The moment you think I can't tell you nothing more. See, in order to make a difference, you're going to be always evolving. You're going to always be rotating. You're going to always be learning. Because here's what I learned. You can't ever miss an opportunity, Kim, to learn from anybody. I can learn from a CTC in the back of the building all the way up to a national bank. to a presidential diamond, to the owner of the company. At the end of the day, you must understand that you could be more if you learned a little bit more. See, here's what I also know, is that never again will you blame somebody else for your mistakes. Somebody say never again.
Never again.
It's not his fault, it's not their fault, it's not your upline's fault, it's your fault. You own it. At the end of the day, you have to be bold enough because that's where you grow. If you screw up, if you drop the ball, if you get beaten by attrition, if people don't agree with you in this business, that's not their fault. You gotta accept it, you gotta embrace it, and you better rebuild it. Period. You cannot blame anyone else. See, the blame game is not relevant again. Somebody say never again.
Never again.
Never again try to do it all. I ain't got no superheroes in this room. Period. Ain't none of us a superhero. See, that's the mistake that you make, is you think if it's gotta be, it's up to me. Lies you tell yourself. No, this is a team effort. I need you to dead, kick to the curb the superhero syndrome. See, the kryptonite is that you think you can do it by yourself. That's what's killing you. That's what's killing our business, is you think that there's an I in team, but the last time I checked, Webster's Dictionary, the Ebonics Dictionary, the Urban Dictionary, team will still spell T-E-A-M. Together, each achieves more. More importantly, never again understand that you cannot just be the one. Here's some things I want to leave with you guys. Pain is unavoidable. But repeating it, the same pain twice, when you can choose to learn something different, that's your choice. You don't need old ways to fail. They're clearly working. You gotta adopt some new things. You gotta make up in your mind that you are never again going to look back. Because if you look back, we will see salt. So I need to hear you. I need everyone to get up on their feet. Because I need you to make a commitment today that never again will you do a new things. When I say a word, I want you to say never again.
Never again.
Say never again.
Never again.
Put a band-aid over a bullet wound. Deal with your deficiencies and do it now.
Never again.
Be bent on settling. You will never, ever settle. That is not the way this thing was meant to be. You don't settle for anything. You must literally go out there and get everything that is purposely designed for you. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Anything break your belief. We got the baddest business this side of heaven, and ain't no devil in hell gonna tell me what we don't have. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Never again be bound by mediocrity. It's the worst disease ever. There's a lot of mediocre people out there, but they ain't in this room. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Never again backslide building this business. This is your wealthy place. This is your wealth transference. This is your opportunity to get everything that you were originally designed for. Say, what?
Never again.
Procrastination, because it is the assassination of your destination. Never ever again procrastinate. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Never again burn another bridge. You gotta lock arms with the brother to the left, the brother to the right, and you gotta build. Because bridges take you somewhere. You gotta cross over them. Don't burn no other bridges. Build relationships. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Don't bully your process because you're supposed to go through it. Everything that is happening now is designed and it is done on purpose. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Back in the projections of others. People's opinions don't pay no bills. We don't care what you think. Opinions like that, everybody got it. But at the end of the day, you will not be subjected to what other people think about you. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Never again, except the fact that somebody calls you average, because average is just below the bottom. So ain't nobody in here average, and we're not going to ever believe that. Somebody say, what?
Never again.
Ever move backwards from your breakthrough? Thank you, Trey Harris. We ain't walking backwards. We're going to break through, we're going to break out, and we're going to go to the next level. Somebody say, what?
Never again.